Hi Tom,
Hi, hello.
Mko poa?
tuko salama.
Uko poa kabisa. Habari yako Irene?
Safi za kazi.
Safi
Nzuri.
kabisa. Unaendeleaje?
Namshukuru Mungu naendelea vizuri.
Tunashukuru.
Karibuni tena kwa wiki nyingine. Vipi, tunaendeleaje?
Naendelea vizuri.
Masomo
Endelea
yanaeleweka
kupambana.
au? Aya, make kozi ya
Masomo
utakwaliti
yanaeleweka vizuri.
mna practice au ndo mkishamaliza bora mmemaliza kozi?
Tuna practice.
Okay. Basi karibuni tena wiki ya pili ya mafunzo yetu specifically ya water quality. Maana najua kuna wengine huku wanasoma na kozi nyingine, lakini hii webinar ni special kwa ajili tunaosoma water quality. Kwa karibuni sana kupitia kwenye chat pale, unaweza pia ukajitambulisha, ukaandika majina yako na unapotokea. So Tom will start. Kwa nataka tuanze kwanza na chemsha bongo. Tuko tayari? Chemsha bongo ili tukae sawa
Yes,
kimtoa darasani. Tuko
we are
tayari?
ready. We are ready.
Okay, to you, Tom, you can start with the slide. Yeah, you are muted.
Irene, do you want to start?
Yes, you can start.
No, Irene, if you want to, if you're happy to do this exercise, we can do it in Swahili.
Yeah,
You were very good
you-
at this when we were practicing. So welcome,
yeah.
everybody.
Nimewaambia tunaanza na chemsha bongo. We call it chemsha bongo.
Ah, Chimcha Bongo.
Yeah, wachangamshe ubongo. Kwa Tom atashare screen wakati tunaendelea. Tom ana share screen kwenye chat pale, utajitambulisha.
So you should be able to draw on the screen by clicking on the green pen in the bottom left-hand side, and this black block should appear, and then you'll see a pen function. If you click on that, you should be able to mark on here and you can choose your color here. But I'll let Irene explain this little game that we're going to start with.
Okay. Si nimwambia jamani tunaanza na chemsha bongo. Yamkini tumetoka site tumechoka, wengine tulikuwa hapa kwenye vikao, kwa hiyo tuanze tuchangamshe ubongo ili turudi tuwe sawa. Kila mtu hii picha anaiona?
Yes.
Ya, kuna picha hii nyingine iko mkono wa kushoto na nyingine mkono wa kulia. Kama alivyoelekeza Tom, kuna hichi kama kipeni hichi cha kina ukijani. Simuona hicho kama kipeni? Kipeni kipenseli. Kila mtu ameona? Kuna hii line ambayo nyeusi upande wako wa kushoto
Yes.
ina ya. Kwa hiyo nataka unipe identify, yani unipe tofauti kati ya huyu na huyu. Nataka tofauti 10. Kila mmoja anachagua ya kwake. Kuna ile peni unachukua, ukiselect ile peni pale unachagua rangi unayoitaka. Simuona hapo kuna peni. Kila mtu anamwona hiyo peni. Sorry Tom, can you touch the pencil so that anyone can see?
Yeah, so it's just be on your left, bottom left. It's not
Yeah, kila
it's
mtu
not
kwenye
this one, but it should be there. It should be there on
kila
the
mtu kwenye
screen.
screen yake si anaona hiyo picha na hiyo peni na peni.
But if you can't
Pena
find the pen,
haionekani.
you can just
Eh?
speak out. If you can't find the pen, just
Pena
speak out. Aha, we've
haionekani.
got some action.
Peni haionekani, mkono wako wa
Eh.
kushoto.
We've got some action here. Look at this.
Okay, hapo sawa.
Ehe. Kwa hiyo utoe tofauti kati ya huyu na huyu, tofauti 5. Tofauti 10. mtu wa kuidentify, kila mmoja tunagawana gawana. Anayeona haraka, kuna mwingine ame-identify pen, kuna mwingine ame-identify C, mwingine ame-identify mkono,
Okay, I've got 5 so far.
mwingine ame-identify karata, mwingine ame-identify bakuli.
Oh,
Bado
6.
tuendelee. Mwingine ame-identify okay, bado nyingine hazijafika 15. Siko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay,
6.
somebody's done this. Can someone just explain what it is? Because I'm not sure what the difference is here.
Mmoja aoneshe tofauti kwenye huyu mdoli mwenye bakuli la kijani, aoneshe hapo tofauti. Wa kujitolea Joshua, uko jazi.
Aha, yes, there's another one. There's another one.
Tofauti.
Right, that's 7. I can see 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, which one's the number 8? Which is the 8th one?
We have the star.
The star. Oh, somebody has done this.
Yeah.
The ears.
Yeah.
Got you. We've got the star here. I've got 8. What are the other ones?
8. Bado vitu 7. Tunatakiwa tupate tofauti 15.
Is there a star?
Endelea kuchungulia vizuri.
Bakuli ya kijani kwenye huu mkono kuna gold.
Hiyo tayari.
Okay. This bowl. What's different with the bowl?
Jihanda, tunaomba umute. Jihanda Mandaro,
Okay,
tunaomba
don't
umute.
don't worry.
Haya, sawa, nimekuelewa Helen.
Ziko 8, bado 7. Natakiwa tufike 15.
I've got 8.
Irene, ambao tumechelewa, nini kinaendelea?
Okay, tunachemsha bongo. Hiyo picha unaiona?
Yeah, naiona.
Hiyo ni chemsha bongo. Tunatakiwa tutoe vitu 15, yani tofauti 15 kati ya au midoli wawili. Kwa hiyo vimeshatajwa vitu 8, bado vingine. Tuendelee.
There, I saw something there appear in red. Who put the red mark? What was that? Somebody put a red mark in the middle. Who was that? I think you've got something.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's 9.
9. Okay, 9. Yes. Oh, yeah, I think I'm not sure about that one, although it's a good idea.
Meza za duara zimeshatajwa.
Unachotakiwa kuna penseli iko mkono wako wa kushoto, ichukue afu zungushia kile kitu unachoona ni tofauti.
Right. Irene, I am going to jump to the next slide and see what we've got now.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, that star.
12.
Look at that. Is that the right one? No, but that's outside of the card. I think it has to be within the card. I'm sorry. Nice try, though. I hadn't thought about that. I never even thought that you could look outside of the card. Well done, whoever saw that. So we're looking for differences between the image on the left and the image on the right. We've got 1, C on the hat, 2, Coco on the t-shirt, 3, Choco Pops in the bowl, 4, the different color bowl, 5, the big star, 6, the red band, 7, the smallest ear, 8, the one that disappeared, 9, the little head on the card that is no longer there, and what's the 10th one? What's the last one?
This one.
Which one?
The
eyebrows. It's the eyebrows. Wow, I did not see that. I did not see the eyebrows. Right, thank you. So well done, everybody. And if you're just joining now, and you're asking yourself, I thought I was joining a live session as part of the Global Water Centre's course on water quality, and we're playing with figures from the back of a cereal packet. Well, can anybody tell me why we think we're doing this exercise today? Today, I'm going to have to say goodbye to the drawings, otherwise they will be all over the slides for the rest of the session. So thank you so much for taking part.
Yeah.
So, oh, no, I need to get to the next slide. Thank you, Irene, for helping us through that. So today we are on week 2, as Irene explained, conducting sanitary inspections, So why do you think we started with that exercise? Can anyone tell me, why do you think we started with that? We call it spot the difference. What do you call it, Irene?
Eti jamani, hilo swali tumelisikia.
So,
Yeah? Tumesikia?
I can hear you.
Ehe, Jihanda Mandago karibu. Maana naona umenyosha mkono.
So to participate in this live session, many of us, which is great. You can raise your hand in the Zoom function if you want to speak and unmute, or you can type in the chat. We see all the messages in the chat. So we started with this game because we were looking at the differences and we were working on our observation skills. And observation skills is something that's really important and helpful when we come to doing sanitary inspections. So my first question for us for this session. So today we're looking at how do we conduct sanitary inspections? How do we conduct sanitary inspections? Now, this live session, it's an opportunity for us to ask any questions we have about the content, any questions we have about the course, the platform, any issues we have. Oh, can everyone
Sorry,
hear me
Tom.
well, or am I not so
Yeah,
loud? Is that
someone
better?
said that the voice.
Ah, is that better? Can you hear me better? Irene, give me a thumbs up. Is that better? That's better. Muy bien.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, well, hopefully you can hear me well. I'm holding the microphone a little bit closer to me. Thank you for pointing that out, Gabrielle. So we're looking at sanitary inspection. So what is a sanitary inspection? What is a sanitary inspection? Can anybody tell us? How do you define a sanitary inspection? You can type in the chat. You can raise your hand in Zoom and unmute. What is a sanitary inspection? There's an image on the right-hand side which gives you a clue. But who can tell me what a sanitary inspection is? You can type in the chat. You can unmute and speak. Please do jump in, because today's session is all about sanitary inspections and how we do them. So if you've been working through the course so far, you hopefully have reached Module 2. Module 2 has 2 parts, 2A and 2B. Both look at sanitary inspections. Today, we're looking at the 2A, which is how do you do sanitary inspections? Can anyone tell us by typing in the chat or being brave? Yes, thank you, Emma. So Emma is telling us that a sanitary inspection is a systematic way to identify, score, and prioritize hazards around a water supply so you can prevent contamination before people get sick. I love that. That's fantastic. Let's hear that again. Thank you, Emma. So Emma says that a sanitary inspection is a systematic way, so it's a structured way for us to do something. And what is it helping us do? It's helping us identify, score, which is kind of like rate. Score, rate, we end up with a number or a category or a result at the end of it. And it helps us identify and prioritize hazards around a water supply. Now, this image on the right hand side, feel free to use the pen again. Can you see any hazards? I think we looked at this very briefly last week. Feel free to use the pen function in the Zoom call to jump in with what you think are hazards on the screen in the image on the right-hand side. But as Emma was explaining, we use the sanitary inspection to identify those hazards. You also mentioned prioritize, which is great. We'll come on to that later. Prioritize by, we mean which hazard is the most important, which hazard perhaps is most likely to lead to contamination. So all of this is a way of looking at how safe our water infrastructure, how safe is it against contamination? How safe is it against contamination? That's right. As Emmanuel explains, it helps us identify risk factors. Thank you, risk factors. So I will show us the definition that you should probably find in the course. This is the course definition. It's always really helpful for us to think of our own definitions as well. And priority risk factors. So that combines what Emmanuel and Emma have shared. My second question, I've got a few questions for us to begin with. Okay, we've done our sanitary inspection. Please do use your pens on the screen here. What do you notice? Are there any issues, any risks you see around this water point? If you can see some, use the pen again, like before, highlight them. Be great to see what you think. My second question, what do we do once we identify these risk factors? What do we do once we identify these risk factors? So imagine that you've been to a site with your team, or your team have given you the results. You've got a whole list of risk factors. What do you do with that information? What do you do with that information? So as Joshua says, it's a process to identify risks that could be risks to health, risks to hygiene, exactly. Mohammed, thank you. It's an on-site evaluation. Yep, very important. It needs to be observed. It's an inspection. You do it at the water infrastructure sites. A standardized checklist. Yep, it's a checklist. We'll see that in a minute. Actually, I can probably show you that straight away. Let me show you an example. So don't worry, Martin, I'm not taking over your slides. Martin is also leading us through this session today. Some people have drawn on the screen. Great. I will come back to that. But it's a checklist. You'll see there are checklists that we work through. And if we go back to my first screen, here we go. Yes, someone's highlighted the goat who's inside. He's got through the barrier. A toilet latrine. Now it depends, doesn't it? If that's a risk factor, why could that be a risk factor? Perhaps the person who highlighted the toilet latrine can tell us. Oh, somebody's also highlighted some clogging up of the what looks like the drainage. What could that be an issue? How could that cause contamination and health concerns? So what do we do once we identify these risk factors? Well, as you can see from the definition, the textbook definition from the screen, doing this helps us identify corrective actions. So if you look at the right-hand side, we can see, what do we do? There are animals getting inside, so we need to do something. So the purpose of these assessments is to identify what the risks are and what actions we need to do as a response to help ensure that water is safe. I'm going to ask, great, those chickens again, sneaking in. I saw them last week as well. They're still there. There's another one here. Wow, I didn't realize there's so many chickens on this screen. It shows it's important to be attentive. Apologies, we're going to say goodbye to the current set of drawings, but please do add on more drawings during the session. We wanted to ask the next question, as that is, who here has experience doing a sanitary inspection? If you can raise your hand, I need to make sure everyone is admitted into the call. Irene, if you can just keep a check on anyone in the waiting room. Can you admit people? If not, I can do them. But if you keep a check, that'd be great. Have you already done a sanitary inspection? Please raise your hand using the Zoom function or type in the chat. Have you already done a sanitary inspection? Have you gone out, visited a water supply infrastructure and done an evaluation, either using a checklist, but done an evaluation to identify risk factors that may lead to contamination? Raise your hand in the Zoom function if you have done a sanitary inspection. Please do raise your hand. Thank you, Emma. Yep, Emma's raising a hand. Fantastic. Who else has experience of doing sanitary inspections? Martin, are you with us on the call? You're going to be taking over, I think, after me. Martin Sanger. Martin Sanger, have you done a sanitary inspection? Martin is another one of our facilitators for this course. Martin.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Tom. Good evening, everyone. As introduced, my name is Martin Sanga. Yes, Tom, I have, yeah, I'm familiar with the tool and I have done several sanitary inspection
Super.
in different projects. Yep.
Fantastic. Super. If you can, please do raise your hand in the Zoom function or type in the chat, react in the chat if you have already done a sanitary inspection. Or perhaps you're looking at sanitary inspections for the first time, which is fine, which is great. Thank you. Martin's raised his hand in the chat. Thank you. That is the subject for today. So whilst you think about that, please do raise your hand if you've used one or respond in the chat. But this section, module 2A, here are the learning objectives. So by the end of this module 2A, this is what we should be able to do. So by the end of this module, we should be able to identify the SI packages. So it's that acronym again, SI, sanitary inspections. That's the sanitary inspection form. Packages, we'll see that in a moment. But we should be able to identify these, identify the risk factors. Important words here, consistently and effectively. Consistently and effectively. We'll be coming on to that in a moment. And then assign a risk score. A risk score. So Emma began by sharing that we have a risk score, and then we should be able to predict common challenges for a program of sanitary inspection. So you may have already looked at the assignment, the case study for what is the case study place called? Menteng. Menteng is the case study. You may have looked at the case study, and that looks at challenges they are facing in Menteng for doing sanitary inspections as a program, as an organized program. Right. I want to ask us next, packages. What are the different types of sanitary inspection packages that there are that exist? What are the different parts of a water supply system? What are the different parts of a water supply system? So there are 13 squares. Tell me, what makes up a water supply system where you work? And is there a sanitary inspection form for that infrastructure? So during this course, we are using the World Health Organization. They have standard sanitary inspections. So we're using the set of standard sanitary inspections from the World Health Organization. So what are the different types of infrastructure that for which there are sanitary inspections in the WHO forms? What are the different types of infrastructure? What are the different types of infrastructure? So you can just type in the chat, and you can speak. What are the different types of infrastructure? Irene, do you want to confirm and clarify what I'm saying in Swahili? So we're after the different types of infrastructure for which there are sanitary inspection forms.
Okay. Kwa lugha rahisi ni kwamba katika maeneo yetu tunaofanyia kazi kuna aina mbalimbali. Hivi nikisema infrastructure kwa Kiswahili ni nini? Miundombinu. aina mbalimbali za miundombinu ambapo tunaweza tukafanya tukazifanyia nini uchambuzi wa hiyo sanitary inspection. Kwa hiyo tutaje hizo types za infrastructure. Okay.
Storage
So,
tank. Storage tanks. I'm gonna see if it's on there. Let's have a look. I need to get rid of this. Oh no, I don't.
Mwingine.
Hang on. Storage tanks. Let's see. Yes, storage tanks is there. Number 8. Thank you. Well done,
Also
Emma. What else? What else is there?
Intake,
Ooh,
boreholes.
Boreholes. Boreholes. Water intake. What do we mean by water intake? Enzogela. We've got boreholes. Yep.
Yeah, it can either be spring, that intake.
Oh, no, Irene, don't you answer. We want to hear from the participants. Great, we've got loads now. Storage tanks, domestic point, pipeline. Okay, pipeline. I'm going to see if we've got a pipeline in here. I think we do. Now, this doesn't look much, but it's a pipeline. Now, pipelines are underground, so this drawing isn't that helpful, but it's a pipeline. It's an inspection point for a pipeline. Domestic points. What do we mean by domestic points, Nuru? What do you mean? Tanks. What type of tanks? Did we have other tanks? We've got this big reservoir. What are the types of tanks? What are the types of storage tanks? Springs. Thank you, Gabrielle. Let's see if I've got a spring on here. Let's have a look. Yes, I do. Number 3 is a protected spring. Excellent. We've pumps. Oh, yes. So we've got borehole. Now, how do we get water out of a borehole? Is it the same form for any type of borehole, or are there different forms for different types of borehole? Question for those people who borehole. Now, domestic points has been mentioned. What do you mean by domestic points? Clarify that. That'd be helpful because there are a few different things. Protected dug wells. Yes.
When they say domestic point, is mean kiosk or water point?
Oh, they're 2 different things there, Irene. Good. That's good to know. We've got protected dug well. Fantastic. Okay, we've got water kiosks. So water kiosk is number 12, where people come to collect water. Somebody mentioned, is it like a tap stand? Is that what you mean? Number 10, a communal tap stand. So is that the difference you're referring to, Irene? Yep.
It's the same. For us, how we use it, the same.
So we have the same word, domestic point, but different forms. And this is really helpful to understand for our context. Now, boreholes. We have boreholes mentioned, but is it the same form for every
We have
borehole?
protected dug wells.
Yes, that's number 2, protected dug wells.
Nyingine.
How do we get water from the borehole? How do we get water from the borehole? Are there different ways that we can get water from the borehole? Oh, make sure everyone's coming in. If you're just joining the call, welcome. Rainwater harvesting systems, fantastic. We're looking at the different sanitary inspection packages. We've just had Hamza has mentioned rainwater harvesting system. So that number 6 is you can see it clearly, but you've got a reservoir with a tap, and it's connected to a rainwater harvesting system. Fantastic. What other water infrastructure? Yes, Irene.
Tuendelee kutaja. Si unaona humu palipobaki na kimvuri, it means kuna vitu hatujavitaja. Kwa hiyo tuendelee kuzimention hapa.
So we've still got 1, 2.
Hizo infrastructure.
We've got 6 to identify.
Yeah.
Now, at least one of those is storage facilities. Where? Drainage channel. I'd say yes, drainage channel is an important component, but I'd say it's part of the infrastructure rather than the infrastructure itself. But you'll notice it should be in every one of the HP. Please do let us know, HP, if that's your initials. Home storage facilities, exactly. How we store water in the home is a key part of the water supply process. It doesn't stop at the tap where people collect water,
Also,
water storage in the home as well. Now, somebody, yes, like drums, exactly. So we can see a jerry can here, different water collection facilities. Somebody had mentioned, so we've got treatment plants. It's not mentioned, or is it mentioned here? I don't know if it is. What's number 5? What's number
treatment
5?
facilities.
It's not mentioned here. So that's a good point. I don't know if the WHO have one for water treatment plants, but that's a really good point. I will have a look after this call and check. We also had, let me have a look. Intakes, I think somebody mentioned. So number 7 here in the middle. This is an intake if you've got water coming from a river. That's part of your infrastructure. There could be contamination. So the reason why we're looking at these different infrastructure is because we want to be able to do a sanitary inspection at these different infrastructure in the form. The questions we're asking are going to be different. The questions we're asking will be different. Now, just to wrap up, we did have a borehole mentioned. So we've got borehole with a hand pump, and then borehole with somebody did mention solar power. So here's a borehole with, it's a submersible pump that's powered either by the grid generator or by solar. We've got 2 more here. Let's see if we can think of those. So what is the top hand one? Now, I'm going to reveal them. I'm not too sure actually how this differs from number 1. Can anybody tell me? We've got number 1, number 4. They look very similar to me. They look very similar to me. Wonder what the difference is. And then we've got number 11, which is water tankering. Water tankering. So that's another method of providing water. It's another stage of supplying water to people. So these are all the 13 different infrastructure for which you can find sanitary inspection forms, in the WHO World Health Organization book, which is our key resource for this course. So do have a look and see. My question now is there anything missing? Is there anything missing from this list? So think about your water supply systems, where you work. Is there any infrastructure for which you do not see a form? Irene, if you want to repeat that in Swahili, that'd be great. Is there any infrastructure on the screen here that you have in your water supply systems that we don't
Someone
see here?
says dams.
Thank you. Yes, Joshua. So dams, perhaps you have a large scale dam, or perhaps you have maybe a semi-submerged sand dam. I wonder if the intake might give you some ideas for that. But yes, there isn't currently one for dams. That's right. What else is missing? Somebody mentioned treatment works, control valves. Yep, good point. So number 9, it's the pipeline. So it might be in there. It might be in there, but that's a good point. Dams, control valves. Anything else? Yep, the river, exactly. So this number 7, this intake, I think could be applied to a river or a lake. So it might be that, Emmanuel, if you look at that number 7, they're all numbered within the booklet, the document. That might be the one to look at. Anything else that we don't see on the screen, but we see in our water supply systems? Emma, is that Emmanuel? Sorry if I've been saying it wrong. Hi. Don't know if that's Emmanuel Mafuru or another Emmanuel. I think we have several, but welcome. Emmanuel Mafuru is already typing, so it could be somebody else. Great. So those are the different inspection forms we have. And now we're going to dive in and we're going to have a look at some of these. We're going to dive in and we're going to have a look at some of these. Now, Martin, are you... Oh yeah, I was going to show just briefly what's included, and then Martin, you're going to talk us through how to use them. So when you go to the form, now this is quite small, but what you'll see there are questions. There are questions. Now, if you've got anything you want to ask about how we fill in this form, now is the opportunity. We're going to have a go as a group to fill in some forms using some images on the screen. But first, I'll talk you through. Let me see if I can get a zoom on my Zoom. Can I get a zoom on my Zoom? Because it's quite small, isn't it? Can I get a zoom on my Zoom? Zoom on my Zoom. All right. Can you get a zoom on my Zoom? I think it might be in the Where's my Zoom? Oh no, I think I know where it is. Aha. Okay. Aha, Zoom. I've got it somewhere. Bear with me. Magnify slide. Aha. Here we go. Great. So you'll see there are several questions we need to ask. So when we approach our infrastructure, we ask, for example, for a hand pump. Is the hand pump in poor condition or loose at the point of attachment to the cover slab? Is the hand pump in poor condition or loose at the point of attachment to the cover slab? So if we were to pick up a little example, let me see. Okay, we're going to jump into this, but we won't take all this from you, Martin. Don't worry. So what do we think? Is it loose? Is it loose at the base? Looks pretty solid to me. Looks pretty solid to me. So that's our first question. So if we think, no, it's solid, there are no issues to worry about, then in our form, if I use the zoom function again, magnify slide, here we go. So here we could say, is the hand pump in poor condition or loose? I'd say no. So no means not a problem. No means not a problem. If it was yes, it is a problem, then here we can describe, well, what do we need to do to make it better, to improve the situation? What corrective action is needed? So that's the process. We take the questions. I think here there are, how many questions here? 11 questions. We answer each question. If it's a yes, we say what we think should be done. And then the total number of yes responses, we mark the total. And I think it was Emma or Emmanuel who said at the start, there's a risk score. That's the risk score. It's the total number at the end. So the maximum we could have is 11 for this one. So this one is the first sanitary inspection form for a hand pump over a dug well. Hand pump over a dug well. So that's how the form works very briefly. In a moment, Martin is going to talk us through how that works. Martin, are you ready to share your screen? Are you ready to share your screen?
Yes, I'm ready, please.
Fantastic. So I will hand over to Martin. I will stop sharing my screen, and Martin is going to take us through, if I can, stop share, take us through some examples together using the sanitary inspection form for infrastructure, water supply infrastructure that hopefully matches what you see or close to what you see in your context. And Martin, please go ahead in Swahili, English, both, whatever you want. And off we go.
Sorry Martin, kabla hujaanza, kuna mwenye swali mpaka hapo tulipofika? Kuna yoyote ambaye hajaelewa kuanzia tulipotoka hapo kwenye introduction mpaka tulipofika? Kama hamna, then Martin unaweza ukaendelea.
Okay, thank you very much, Tom and Irene, for the introduction. Thank you, Tom, for the highlight on the sanitary inspection tool. Yeah, karibuni. I'll be mixing up Swahili English. So tukiwa na swali tujisikie huru kuuliza ili tupate manufaa ambayo yamekusudiwa kwenye hii training. Irene na Tom wamekuwa wakitudokeza namna gani. Hello? Okay. So team, haujaelewa kwenye yes?
hapo kwenye yes au no factor.
Aha, sawa. So Tom alikuwa ana introduce tu namna hiyo sanitary inspection unavyotakiwa
Tupitishe kidogo.
kufanya, unatakiwa ufanyaje. So now we will be diving in a little bit to familiarize with the inspection tool and how we can use the tool to do the inspection in our water systems. So this photo, hii picha tumeiona amekuwa akiitumia Tom hivi karibuni, na ningependa kati yenu nisikie mnataka tufanye sanitary inspection kwenye kitu gani, na kama Tom alivyosema, according to the WHO we have many sanitary inspections that are available to inspect the water system, the component of the water system. So kwa sasa nitaona, kwa sababu ya muda, we cannot go through each sanitary inspection form to each water component, water system component, lakini let's focus kwenye component ambazo zina yellow. So naomba tu volunteer tu, mnataka tuanze na form ipi na ina component ipi ya water system kufanya hii sanitary inspection?
Naona hapo kuna mwingine amechagua namba 5.
Okay, namba 5.
Mwingine namba 6.
Namba 6. Aliyepata item itakayoangukia kwenye item nyingi tutaanza nayo. Naomba kwa sasa tu concentrate kwenye item ambazo zina yellow color, kwa sababu ya muda hatuwezi kufanya zote. So kati ya hizo zenye yellow color mnataka tuanze na ipi?
Kuna namba 3, namba 3 na namba 6 ndo zipo. Namba 3 na namba 6 ndo namba 3 imepita, ndio inakula nyingi so far.
Okay, so we will go to we'll start number 3. So if you have to look on the photos shown, tunaona ni risky factors zipi ambazo tunaweza tukaziona kupitia hizo picha. What are the risky factors that you can identify on the photos? Na kujibu majibu yetu unaweza ukatype kwenye chat, lakini kama unataka kuongea unaweza ukanyosha mkono. Na pengine kama tulivyojifunza tangu mwanzo, unaweza ukatumia hii pen ambayo iko kushoto kwako kwa kumark in the hiyo risk factor ambayo unaiona kwenye particular element inayoonekana. So if you need to speak, raise your hand. I will see and give you time to unmute and talk. You can also type in the chat. But also you can use the pen on your left hand side.
Jamani, ni vitu gani hatarishi tunaziona? Martin, wameomba Kiswahili kiwe kingi kidogo, wanachanganyikiwa.
Okay, mmoja ameweka alama kwenye maji. Ni riski gani hapo naiona? Kuna pondings, like there is a water ponding. Any other factor you see?
I think Belege in the chat has put water contamination. Maybe they can explain
water contamination.
Where they think that might be happening.
Okay. Yeah, water ponding, good water contamination. Any other factor you can see? Hamna nyingine? Okay, cool. So, sorry, someone want to speak?
Yeah, no. Nzogera mentions there's no tap, so there's just a pipe. It's just a pipe. There's not a tap. And water drainage, I think we've already mentioned, looks like
Yeah.
it's poor. And that can cause water to accumulate near the spring. So just wanted to highlight those comments in the chat.
Okay, cool. So those you have mentioned those are good risk factors. But so as we are speaking about the sanitary inspection, we can use this tool to clearly identify the risk factors that we see in the photo. Is anyone able to read the sanitary inspection that I have displayed on the right hand?
Yeah, you can,
Or I
can you
can
zoom
try
in?
to zoom it a
Yeah,
bit.
so if you zoom in, you can do it in the slide deck. That's right, magnify slides, correct, perfect. And then click on the slide. Yes, and then click there. You have to, yes, perfect. Now it's great. It's clear.
Okay, so maybe we can go about one by one to see if that is the risky factor to that water point or not. So number one, does the spring lack a functioning protective infrastructure? On your observation, do you see this is the water source is lacking the functioning protective? Do you think that is lacking in that water source, point source? If yes, you can type yes. If no, you can type no. If not applicable, you can type not applicable.
And use the pen.
And yeah, also yes, you can use the pen. Exactly. Thank you, Tom. You can use the pen to check on the boxes.
Got a lot of yes in the response. Is this for number one?
Yes, number one. Okay, so thank you very much. So yeah, majority, maybe all that those who responded, we are saying the water point is it doesn't have the functional protective structure. If you look on the photo, it is a spring, but yeah, it's not protected. So how the form is trying to highlight with saying contaminants the enter spring if there is no protective structure in place. So to construct maybe a spring box to make sure the spring is well protected from surface runoff. Animal cannot easily access and contaminate the water that we are using. Number two, is the outlet pipe missing or in poor condition? Number two, what about number two? The way you see in the photos, is the outlet pipe missing or in poor condition?
Oh, should we go back to the photo? If you zoom out again, if you click on the screen, it should go back to the full screen.
Utupandishe pia tuone ile machaguo ya pale juu yanasemaje. Tumekalili yes tu, ama mengine yanasemaje?
Okay, can you able to see the full screen now?
Yes, we can see the full screen.
Are you able?
Yes,
okay.
we can.
So we have three options. Namba moja ni no. Number moja ni not applicable, and A means not applicable. Number mbili ni no, and number three ni yes. So you have to check to the respective box.
Got you.
So let's look on the photos. Look on the photo now, and then we'll zoom out to to be able to read. Okay, so the question number 2 is saying, sorry. Okay.
That's right. So there are 11
moving,
questions for this inspection form. So not all of these questions will apply. So if the question, it's not there,
exactly.
you put NA, not applicable.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Tom. So number 2 is saying, is the outlet pipe missing or in poor condition? So you have to check whether it's not applicable. So not all these condition is applicable to that particular photos. So sometimes you can find that particular component is not applicable. You have to check in the box of not applicable. If it is yes, you check it yes. If it is no, you check it no. So I'll zoom out again. Can you check the box? Which box is up is correct for this number 2?
So in the chat, we've got people saying that it's in poor condition. It's not missing,
Yes.
but it is in poor condition.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you. So you can check, for instance, you find maybe it's not missing, it is there, but it is in poor condition. So you can also, you have an opportunity to give comments on the last column. So unaweza pia ukaweka maoni yako kwenye hiyo sanitary inspection checklist, ukaweka maoni yako. Kwa unaweza kukuta kuna kitu haiko moja kwa moja kwenye maelezo ambayo yapo kwenye hii checklist, lakini una nafasi ya kutoa recommendation kwenye column ya mwisho.
But there's a question on somebody put not applicable. Good question. Is it applicable? What do we think? Is there an outlet pipe? What do we mean by outlet pipe? Now, in the document, well, I'll let you answer, but I'll let you carry on, Martin, but I'm asking the question.
Yes, so the question is, Tom, if you can repeat.
So somebody put not applicable.
Okay.
So do we think that the outlet pipe, what is the outlet pipe for a spring?
Yes.
Do we have the same understanding of what an outlet pipe is?
Okay, so if I go back to the photo, so this is a spring, the way it is a spring, but yeah, maybe the outlet pipe, we in this context, we mean the pipe that is water is flowing through from because we cannot see the spring itself, but through the pipe we see water flowing through the pipe. So this pipe is connecting the spring and the point where people now they can access water.
Super. So thank you for clarifying, Martin. So you'll notice that I posted in the chat a definition that I took from the sanitary inspections form. So if there are any questions about definitions, what does this mean? The form itself has a section which describes each of these components in more detail. So this is just one part of the form, the questions, which is what we use. But if there are any queries, any questions, there is more explanation. Thank you, Martin. Martin, should we have a look at a different infrastructure? I think we had many people put number 8, I think.
Yes,
Should we go and have a
I
look
think
at
we can,
one?
let's go back and check number 8. Okay. Yeah, so this is a reservoir storage tank kind of. Maybe to ask again to the team, niwaulize tena, hili ni tanki la kuhifadhia maji the way we see. Tunahisi ni riski factor gani tunaweza kuziweka kuziorodhesha kwenye hiyo picha? If you can type in the chat au ukatumia pen au unaweza ukawasha mic ukaongea. Ukiangalia hii picha tunaona ni riski factor zipi ambazo tunaweza tukaziona?
So January, you've circled something. Do you want to tell us what your concern is? You can type in the chat if you prefer.
Unaweza ukaongea kwa Kiswahili, haina shida. Kwa mfano January nadhani umeweka kwenye with the yellow ink. Unamaanisha ulikuwa unamaanisha nini? Ni chafu au ni rangi mbaya au ni nini? Unaweza pia ukaandika kwenye chat if you don't mind.
Sorry, I mean there is a presence of rusting.
Okay. Yeah, sign of rust. So I don't know if it is a rust, but if you look the outside, it seems like it's a mass. It's not steel. It's maybe concrete or mason structure. So maybe it could be maybe the tank it has never been cleaned, or maybe some waste is stuck on the wall and floor. And another one is showing the grasses around the storage tank. Any other? Feel free to type.
Na mtu amesema hamna ngazi.
Hamna ngazi. Yeah, of course, maybe it's not visible, maybe on the other side. Okay, so if maybe we can,
I think it's just a step. It's actually a step. There's no ladder. It's a step.
Yes, step, yeah. So also tunavyotaja hizo factors, hizo risk factors, tujiulize pia ni namna gani zinaweza kusababisha contamination ya maji. As we mentioned all those risk factors, we should ask ourselves, how are they causing contamination in water? Labda mmoja anaweza kutupa yes, John. Naona mkono wako, unaweza ukafungua mic ukatuambia.
Mwezeshaji, ninachokiona kwenye tenki hilo, kwanza tenki lenyewe ni ferrocement tenki, nafikiri kwa jina la kitaalamu.
Yes.
Kama ambavyo wameelezea participant wenzangu hapo, ni kwamba hili tenki ni la muda mrefu, halifanyiwi usafi. Surrounding yake inaonyesha nyasi, miti, kitu ambacho possibly hata mizizi inaweza ika attempt kuingia kwenye tenki ndani, na ndio maana tunaona hayo matokeo mabaya yanayoonekana kwa ndani ya tenki. Kwa hivyo mazingira kama hayo yanaweza yakaruhusu maji ya nje yakaingia kwa ndani katika kupelekea hata maji yetu yakawa machafu ambayo yanaweza kuwa na contamination. Lakini jambo la pili na la kubwa ninaloliona, hata ule usafi wa ndani, maanake ni kwamba hapo hayupo mtaalamu anayesimama kwa ajili ya kufanya usafi na kufanya water treatment. Yote hayo yakishindwa kuzingatia kwenye swala zima la usafi wa mazingira ya maji, nafikiri swala la contamination linakuwa liko around na linaweza likapelekea madhara makubwa kwa watumiaji. Kwa hivyo Tenki lenyewe ukiliangalia pia liko na some sort of pores ambazo zinaruhusu maji. Ukiona huo weupe huo, maana yake kuna leakage, maji yanavuja kutoka kwenye tenki humo. Kwa hiyo yote ni factor ambazo zinaonyesha tenki letu usalama haupo. Mimi naomba niishie hapo.
Yeah, asante sana John, umemaliza kila kitu. So John was mentioning that the storage tank seems like it has been abandoned. No one is caring. Grasses and tree roots can because it's not the area is not clean. Grasses and tree roots can manage to penetrate through the storage tank and make cracks. And through cracks we can contaminate water, maybe during surface runoff, etc. So John, asante sana. So we can tukatumia form checklist yetu okay. So kwa haraka hii ni sanitary inspection checklist ambayo tunaweza tukatumia kwenye storage tank. Tutaangalia vitu vichache kwa interest ya muda. Kwa mfano swali la kwanza tunaulizwa kwamba is the storage tank cover for roof absent or in poor condition? Tunaweza tukasemaje, ni not applicable, no au yes?
Perhaps use the zoom function again, the magnify function again.
Yes,
Martin.
okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect.
Is the storage tank cover or roof absent or in poor condition? What do we think? Na maelezo yake yanasema contaminants could enter the tank, particularly after rain, if the cover is absent. This could also happen if the cover is damaged. Kwenye hiyo picha tutacheki wapi? Assume umepewa hiyo checklist and you have to go to the site, to the field to do the sanitary inspection. Where will you check? We are in a question number 1. Feel free kuongea, type in the chat, and also maybe use pen to indicate where will you check in those 3 boxes. Yeah, anyway, tuko swali la kwanza, tulikuwa na discuss swali la kwanza. Naona mna cheki swali la pili, lakini still we can go to question number 2. Haina shida. Is the storage tank inspection hatch lid missing or in poor condition? Okay, maybe it's the same thing. Lid and cover is more or less the same thing. Okay, so majority tunasema yes, it is missing,
so I think,
or in poor condition.
So I think just to highlight the difference, I think the form is suggesting number 1 is for the cover, the roof, and then number 2 is just the inspection hatch. So just that small opening where someone can have a look inside. I think that's the difference. So the number 1 is the entire roof, and number 2 is the inspection hatch. So perhaps a reservoir will have a roof, but no inspection hatch.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Tom, for that additional point. So yeah, so the number 1 tulikuwa naongelea, tumezoea kusema top slab, maybe top slab ile tunayofunikia the cover of the storage tank or reservoir. Lakini namba 2 ni ile opening, ile sehemu ambayo sasa ukitaka kufanya usafi unaweza ukaingia ukafanya usafi, au kama unataka kuangalia kama maji yanaingia unaweza ukaenda pale na ukachungulia kama picha inavyoonyesha. Okay, so majority tunasema yes, we have checked in yes means the storage tank inspection hatch lid is missing or in poor condition. Tunakubaliana if we look on the photo?
Yes, together.
Okay, kwa nini tunaona iko labda in poor condition? Kwa sababu tunaona, lakini tunaona iko in poor condition, labda tujui kama inafunga au haifungui. Karibu John.
Ukweli ni kwamba kwa vile tenki hili limetumika kama kielelezo cha kujifunza, lakini naamini lilikuwa lina design yake, ndio maana tunaiona hiyo structure ina comply kuitwa reservoir. Kikubwa ambacho tunakiangalia hapo, hilo tenki limeachwa, yani limetelekezwa. Ndio maana tunaona zile surrounding areas zina nyasi, zina miti, na ndio maana tunafika mahala pa kulikondemu. Lakini kimsingi hilo tenki liko designed kitaalamu, lina raundi nzuri, isipokuwa halina ukarabati, na mfuniko huo ninavyouona umelala, kwa maana ya umefunuliwa hapo. Sijui kuna mtaalamu technician mwenzangu au engineer ambaye anajaribu kuchungulia kwa ndani kujua nini kinachoendelea. Kwa hiyo kikubwa, mazingira kama hayo kwenye miundombinu yetu ambayo tunatumia kuwapatia watu maji safi na salama, haipashi kuonekana kwa sura hiyo. Ijapo sasa hivi tumechukulia eneo hilo kama pilot area ya kujifunza kwa uhalisia tunavyoona, na wengi tutaangukia kwamba hilo tenki halifai. Lakini ukirudi kwenye uhalisia, kielelezo kinaonekana pale chini, namba 8 inaonyesha tenki linavyofaa kukaa, likae kwenye fensi, lina ngazi, lina sehemu ya kukagulia kuingia ndani na kufanya usafi. Kwa hiyo mimi niseme tu kwamba kwa mfano huo yatosha kutuelekeza kuona kwamba mazingira kama haya tunayoyaona kwenye kielezo hiki hayafai kuwa hivyo. Badala yake hiyo namba 8 ndiyo sahihi, inayotuonyesha tenki letu, wewe kama msimamizi unayetoa huduma ya maji safi na salama, inatakiwa kuwa vipi. Naomba kuwasilisha.
Asante sana kaka John. Na kaka John umemaliza, na kiujumla that is why we are here. Make sure we are all doing the good job, but make sure the place that you are working, at your working place, at your project that you are managing or overseeing, make sure the infrastructures, they are in a good condition, not the way this tank is. So it seems like it has been abandoned. So through this checklist, unaweza kuwa, you will be reminding yourself whether the infrastructure it is in good condition and it is then free from any contamination or not. And then if you see there is any sign of contamination through the particular infrastructure, you take the relevant action before the situation become worse. So asante sana, that's why we are here team. Kujifunza, huwezi ukaacha tenki hivi wakati una supply maji kwa watu, na tumeshaona riski ambazo zinaweza kuwa associated na hiyo kuacha tenki in that situation. Okay.
Martin, fantastic. I think now what would be great, I know John has prepared some questions for us to kind of recap what we've been looking at today. So we've been going for about an hour. I think we have scheduled another 20 minutes. If you've got time, energy to stay with us, fantastic. If you have other commitments, not a problem. Martin, I also wanted us to pause to see if there are any questions about this part of the course. I'll share my screen. Are there any questions about this part of the course? We've been looking at sanitary inspections. before we move on, and then John, I think you've prepared a quiz for us to wrap up this session. Thank you so much, Martin. Round of applause for Martin in the chat. Really helpful exercise, and I hope that's helped us appreciate that there's a lot to think about when it comes to sanitary inspections, and it's good to do it together as a group.
Yeah.
Because like the opening activity, not everyone sees everything, and coming together helps us see everything that could be an issue. So if you've got any questions, general questions about the course content, please do raise your hand or type them in the chat. But now, John, you've prepared a quiz for us, I believe. I can control it, so it's quiz time. Now, quiz means points. I'm not sure if points means prizes, but how it works is we've got two sections to this quiz. So on the left-hand side, we've got 5 questions about the process of doing sanitary inspections. And on the right-hand side, we've got questions about the challenges. Now, you can see there are points from 100 down to 500. You can win points for your group. Now, we'll keep a track of different groups. You'll notice that you are in a group of, say, 30 people when you join the platform. But as you can see today, we have more than 30 people doing this course. Some 200. Irene, is it like 250, 260? So we have groups.
Yeah.
So, and I think I look after a couple of groups and support a couple of groups. So does Martin, so does John, and we're keen to see if we can win some points for our group. John, do you want to explain in Swahili? Take it away, and I will move and navigate for you.
Yes. Thank you, Tom. Karibuni sana kwenye maswali ya chemsha bongo. Tuko na sehemu mbili. Kuna sehemu ya kulia ambayo inaonyesha changamoto za kufanya sanitary inspection. Halafu sehemu ya kushoto inaonyesha hatua ama process za kufanya sanitary inspection. Ukiangalia hizi points zina utakayochukua itakuwa ni point ambazo zitakuwa zinaangukia kwenye grupu ambalo upo. Najua tuko kwenye magurupu. Kwa hiyo unachagua point and then tunaangalia ulichochagua, ndio unakuwa umepata hiyo nani, hiyo swali ama hiyo point. Yes, Tom.
So John,
You're muted.
we can
Yes.
ask a volunteer. So raise your hand if you want to ask a question, or type in the chat if you want to ask a question, and then that person can choose which question to ask. Now, the bigger the points, the larger the number of the points, the more difficult the question is. So if you're feeling confident, you can go 400, 500. But if you're not, if you want to guarantee the points, 100, 200, over to you, John.
Yeah. Mtu yoyote ambaye anaweza akajitolea kujibu maswali. Hizo point tunazoziona, point inavyokuwa kubwa na swali lake ndo linavyozidi kuwa gumu. Kwa hiyo una uwezo wa kuchagua point zozote na utapata swali. Ukijibu hilo swali, point ni za kwako. Anayeweza kujitolea, anaweza kunyosha mkono.
Atakayevuna pointi nyingi atapata zawadi eh?
And if you volunteer, you can ask for help from other members of your group. So you won't be alone if you put your hand up.
Ya, ukijitolea unaweza ukapata msaada kutoka kwa wenzako, hautakuwa peke yako. Yeah, Tom, I see there is a highlight on 300 on the left.
Aha, who was that?
Mimi nimejitolea.
Nani? John, eh?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, okay, Emmanuel, karibu.
Emmanuel, what's your...
Yeah.
Oh, aha, well, we've done this already, Emmanuel. So Let's see. What's your family name, Emmanuel?
My family name is Mfyoi.
Mfui. I can't. Sorry. Um,
Mfyoi. Mfyoi.
Perfect. Mfui. Oh, yes, I think you're in one of the groups that I'm looking after. Yes, group 5. Great. This is 300 points, group 5, and you can do it in Swahili or English as you like. John, Martin
Na
will be judges.
sawa sawa. Hilo ndo swali ambalo mmelipata na ni swali ambalo tumekwisha liongelea. Kwa hiyo
Ah,
mnaweza kutupatia majibu yake. What is a sanitary inspection?
sanitary inspection tulisema ni scientific, ni namna ya kufanya uchunguzi au ukaguzi kwenye vile infrastructure za maji ambazo inatusaidia kukinga au kufanya, inasaidia watu wasipatwe na madhara yanayotokana na uchafuzi wa maji.
Okay, sawa sawa. Martin,
Are you guys happy?
Au nitakiwa niongee Kiingereza?
If you'd like,
ya uko sahihi. Ya Tom,
please do.
there is a response from Emmanuel
Yep.
on sanitary inspection that it's a scientific process of inspecting the root causes which may lead to contamination of water.
Oh, great. So can you repeat that, please, John? We'll see how this compares to.
Okay.
Or actually, no. We'll ask if anyone else would like to add anything.
Yeah, kama kuna mtu anataka kuongeza chochote
From another group, maybe. Thank you so much,
kutoka kwa
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel ama watu ambao uko nao kwenye group lako.
Group mnaniangusha.
Hakuna jibu ambalo sio sahihi. Unaweza kuongeza chochote kwa Kiswahili ama kwa Kiingereza.
And you can
Kikubwa ni kile
type in the chat.
unachokielewa. Ama unaweza
John, so what did
chat.
can you confirm what Emmanuel shared just now whilst we see if anybody else wants to add anything?
Emmanuel, unaweza ukarudia jibu lako?
Naweza nikarudia.
Sawa, karibu.
Nimesema kwamba sanitary inspection ni ile niweke kwa Kiingereza ndio inakuwa nzuri.
Don't worry, in Swahili is fine.
Hata kwa Kiswahili tu jinsi ulivyoielewa.
Ni hali ya kufanya ukaguzi wa miundombinu ya maji ili isiweze kuleta madhara kutokana na zile contaminations.
Okay. Tom,
Yep.
he has put it this way. Sanitary inspection, it's a way acting infrastructure inspections to identify the root causes which may lead to water contamination.
Great. I'm going to put up our summary here and use my highlighter. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Yes. So we use a sanitary inspection to identify risk factors that may lead to contamination. So maybe just to clarify, that may lead. So we're not sure if it will lead to contamination, but we think it might do. So I'm going to give Emmanuel and Team 5, not that I'm biased, 300 points. Right, who's next? Next question, John.
Thank you.
We had somebody who goes
chat,
by the name of Quality.
Quality Store kwenye chat unaweza ukazungumza. He has selected 200.
Which side? Sanitary
Which side
inspections
is that?
process
Is that
or
on the right,
charges?
on the left? Hiyo 200 ni kushoto ama kulia? Quality store. Quality store is
Well,
quiet.
I'm going to choose for quality store. We've got a new question.
Okay. Hiyo ni kushoto kwangu kama nimekaa hapa.
Aha. That 200 is on the left.
Well, I've chosen the one on the right. So we're going to mix it up, making it a little bit
Oh,
harder because I think quality store, you would get the other question very easily. So I'm making it a little bit harder. Do tell
now
us your name. Do tell us your name.
sasa una bahati umepata swali la kulia. Karibu. Can you give us a list two things that could happen if uncertain conditions are consistently marked as no risky?
It's a harder question. If you tell us your name, and we'll tell you what group you're in, and then you can ask for other people from your group to help.
Ukitajia jina lako halisi Quality Store, tutakwambia huko kwenye grupu gani, alafu na kwenye grupu lako unaweza ukapata usaidizi kwenye kujibu hili swali.
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Wilfred Mchemba. Ni Wilfred Mchemba.
Wilfred
Great.
Mchemba, that is his
Yes.
name.
Great. Wilfred.
Wilfred.
Fantastic. So you're in group 2. You're in group 2.
Okay.
So let's see who's in group 2. But have a think. When we were looking at this earlier, let's just look at this for a second. So I'll go back to, this might help. The question is, if we do an assessment and we put no, 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 no. But what might happen? Let's have a look. Go back to that question. So it says if uncertain conditions are marked no. So if we're not sure, we haven't talked about this yet, but if we're not sure, we had some discussion earlier with Martin where we had different opinions slightly. If we're not sure, if it's a maybe, do we put no or do we put yes? And if we put no, what's the risk? Aha, Gabrielle has jumped in on the chat looking to steal the point. Sorry, Wilfred. John, over to you.
Yes. Gabriel here, he has typed pia ni ukaguzi wa kimfumo wa mazingira na miundombinu ya chanzo cha maji cha kutumia orodha ya ukaguzi checklist. Moja, potential health risk may be missed. Hili ulikuwa unajibu lile swali la kwanza lenye pointi 300.
Why is that? Why is that?
Nilikuwa najibu swali la kwanza lenye pointi 300, lakini pia hapo jibu la pili nilikuwa najibu swali la pili.
Hiyo moja ni swali la pili. Hello?
Yes, John.
Yes, moja ni swali la pili.
Hiyo moja ni swali la pili. Okay. We have two responses here on the chat from Gabriel. Number one was an additional contribution to the question number 1. The one with 300 points.
Perfect.
And here, and the number 1 here, potential health risk may be missed. This is for the current question that comes with 200
Great.
points.
Okay. Gabrielle, you've got 100 points for adding that there's a checklist as an integral part of the sanitary inspection form. Great. The other question you've mentioned, potential health risks may be missed. Why? If we are, hang on, no, let me find the right question. Yes, if we're marking no, if we're not sure, we're uncertain, we put, well, I'm not sure, I'm going to put no. Why might potential health risks be missed? Why might potential health risks be missed? If we're not sure and we put no, can anybody else explain to us what might be missed? Like Gabrielle said, I think you're right, Gabrielle, but why? John, over to you.
Haya, sasa hapa kwenye hili jibu ambalo limetoka kwa Gabriel, anasema kwamba kwenye hili swali ambao, can you give us at least two things that could happen if uncertain conditions are consistently marked as no risky? And the response is potential health risk may be missed. Swali, je, ni kwa nini? Kuna mtu anaweza akatupatia hapo jibu kutokana na hili jibu? Ni kweli inawezekana. Kuna baadhi ya vihatarishi vinaweza vikakosekana ama visionekane, lakini tungependa kupata maelezo kidogo kwa nini. Mwita, unaweza ukaelezea kidogo? Gabriel?
So,
Ama which group is Mwita from? Maybe we
group
can...
Group 2. So now you might not know which group you are in, but it's the same group as Quality, I think, Wilfred, sorry, not Quality Store. Sorry, Wilfred.
Yeah, Wilfred. So they are in the same group?
Yes. So it's points are going to the same place. So Gabrielle has jumped in to help his group colleague, Wilfred. Now, what we can do, we don't have to answer all the questions now. We're coming to the end of our session, and I want to make sure if you have any questions, any general questions about the course, please do ask. Do we think we have time for one more quiz question? What do you think?
Tunaweza tukawa na muda kwa ajili ya swali lingine la quiz.
One more quiz question?
Swali moja zaidi ama...
Hamza has responded to the question that I'd asked. So if a real hazard, a real risk is overlooked, it may lead to contamination of the water supply and the increasing risk of waterborne diseases being spread. Hamza, I'm going to find out what group you're in, and you're getting 100 points. Well done. John, last question, over to you.
Swali la mwisho.
Oh, that's group 2. So perfect.
Swali la mwisho, tunaomba mchague point kulia ama kushoto.
500
mnaogopa
points.
kuchagua 500?
Which side?
500. Quality store. Quality store again.
You have asked the question already. Is there anybody else who would like to ask?
Wewe umeshauliza tayari, tunataka mtu mwingine.
So we're going to put the question on the board. Unzugela. Okay, last question. So, sorry, Wilfred, your team has already got 300 points. So you're doing really well.
Yeah.
We're going to give a chance to somebody else. Now, this is, I think, whoever circled this in Zngula. I saw the name pop up briefly. Began with an N, followed by a Z.
Okay,
if you think it's you.
Aliye Saiko anaweza ka unmute aweze kuongea kwa ajili ya hizi point ambazo amechagua 400 na hili swali. Name at least 2 benefits of using a central inspection as part of a proactive management. Swali rahisi sana hili.
Efeta. Can you answer? You can type in the chat. You can, I mean, off you go.
Okay. My name is Eveta. My name is Eveta Zogela.
Karibu.
I'm in group 5.
Yes.
The name of at least 2 benefits of using sanitary inspection as part of the proactive management approach. For myself, I think the benefit of using sanitary inspection is to get the earlier information about the hazards or about the risks before it happen. Because when you do the sanitary inspection, you can notice the risks or contamination of that of water before it happens. So the benefits is to get you well prepared. As we show there is a proactive management approach. It means before the situation to happen, you have been already understand what gonna be happen, so you can correct before it happen. That's the first benefits. And also it can be the second point, it can help to reduce tunaweza tukapunguza yale matumizi ya fedha, kwa sababu kitu kikishatokea unaweza ukawa haukuplan, lakini kama ukiwa umejua kwamba kitu kitatokea, maanake unaweza kwa kipekea mipangilio ya kuweza kuweka akiba na kuweza kuona namna ya kuweza kukicorrect. Kwa hiyo hizo ni benefits mbili ambazo ni ukifanya sanitary inspection zinaweza zikakusaidia kwenye miradi yetu ya maji.
Asante sana. And yes, 2 points there, Tom. Point number 1 is to identify the risk factors before they happen and collect them. And point number 2, it helps to avoid unnecessary cost that may be required to solve when the problem happens. Yeah,
Super.
I think those
Thank
are
you so
two
much.
powerful points
Thanks
from
so much,
Eveta.
Iveta. Iveta, well done. I'm
Asante sana, Eveta.
giving 200 points to that response. So now group 5, 500 points, way in the lead. I think that we've reached the time. I think, John, I don't think we have time for any more questions today.
Yeah, I think yes,
But
they have really
I do think
given us enough time to.
we'll have time next week. So I'll just we've got Techno Pop 6 go. Help to review practices. Oh, what do you mean by that? Help to review practices. Just seeing that in the chat. Help review
from
practices.
Techno.
What do we mean by that?
Do you have time to
I'm just
allow
curious.
him to speak?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what Techno means by
Techno Pop uliye posti kwenye chat sasa hivi, unaweza kuongea dakika chache. Tunaelekea mwishoni, naona muda umeenda na tusingependa kuwakalisha sana. Tekno, unaweza tu mute afu uweze kuelezea kidogo ulicho post.
Nisaidia kulinda afya za jamii kwa kupunguza hatari ya
No, I think Tekno. No, Tom, I think yes, maybe we can
I think it's a good point, but I think review
continue this next week.
practices. So it might be that there are already management practices in process being used that are designed to help protect the water supply, but maybe they're not working very well. And a sanitary inspection can help check if those practices are being done well. So it also builds community confidence and trust. Thank you, Hamza. Techno, let us know who you are and we'll make sure your group gets those points. But yes, Hamza, also a good point. We're going to draw this session to a close. John, you're going to be back with the quiz, I'm sure. Gabrielle has typed something. Thank you, Gabrielle. You're going to be back with the quiz, I'm sure. These are the current standings. So there's still plenty of time. We've got many weeks left together for other groups to get involved. We want to close by just giving you a chance to ask any questions now in terms of schedule. This week, up until the 2nd of August, we encourage you to work through Unit 2A, conducting sanitary inspections. We can already see many people have started submitting a response to the assignment. That's fantastic. We will respond to your assignments. And then next week, we'll be having a look at the bigger picture, not just doing the sanitary inspections, but how do we organize a program? How do we get organized to run a program of doing sanitary inspections well, effectively? Just want to give this time now for any questions. Please do ask, type in Swahili. John, Irene, Martin are here to respond, and I'm on backup. So John, Martin, any questions, please do. This is our chance to respond.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much for your guidance. Karibuni sana, tumefikia mwisho wa kikao cha leo, lakini kabla tujafunga, tungekaribisha maswali ama mtu mwenye dukuduku lolote lile ambalo angependa kushirikisha kabla tujafunga. Someone on the chat, show us results. I think he means the results of our quiz. Hii hapo unaweza kuona. Kuna swali lingine? No. Maybe now we can maybe ask Eileen and Martin if they have any closing remarks. They can now.
Yeah, thank you, John. Yeah, maybe just to insist the team to keep monitoring the progress, keep pushing. Muda unatukimbia sana na tukiangalia progress, yes, you are doing a great job, but still you need to put more effort to make sure you complete the course. Na tunajua tunafahamiana ambao tumesha register kwenye hii course. Kwa hiyo tunaweza tusaidiane kuwakumbusha na wengine ambao maybe kwa namna moja au nyingine wameshindwa kuhudhuria hii session yetu ya leo, wajitahidi kupambana, tupambane ili tumalize course, ili mwisho wa siku tupate kile ambacho tulitarajia kwenye hii training. Lakini na kwa wale ambao bado, nadhani tuna muda mchache kabla ya siku chache niseme, kabla ya registration kama ukiwa bado muda huo ukifika haujaanza course, ina maana system itakutoa moja kwa moja. Irene maybe ataongea zaidi kwenye hili. System itakutoa moja kwa moja na utaweza kuendelea na course. Kwa hiyo tujitahidi kusukuma ili basi tuweze kwenda na muda. Kama unapata changamoto kwenye kusoma na nini, ndio muda wake. Kama kuna sehemu labda inakutatiza, unaweza pia ukauliza. Sio lazima uulize kwenye haya ambayo tumeongea kwenye hii session, lakini kiujumla kwenye kozi yetu, labda kama unatatizwa na sehemu, labda unashindwa ku access material, sehemu kama hii, mambo kama hayo unaweza pia ukauliza. Asante sana.
Asante Martin, asante John, asante Tom kwa kuridi kuanzia mwanzo mpaka tulipofika. Pia asanteni wote kwa kuparticipate. Lakini tukumbuke tupo wiki ya pili, leo ni Alhamisi, kesho Ijumaa. Kuna watu wengi bado tuko nyuma sana. Kuna wengine ambao kweli wameshakamilisha, lakini asilimia kubwa tuko nyuma sana, na muda aurudi nyuma, wanasema unazidi kwenda. Na ambavyo tunasisitiza, tunajua huku kuna watu ambao mko wilayani mnasimamia CBU, so kuna wengine hapo mkoani. Hakikisha timu yako yote mpo sambamba, sio unamaliza afu wenzako wanabaki nyuma. Na kama Mati alivyosema, inapofika tarehe 7 automatically system itawatoa, kwa sababu hivyo vingine wanakuwa wamesha set system, inakuwa ina automatic. Nikituma ile list pale, kila mtu amwangalie mtu wake, kwa sababu mimi naamini wote mpo kwenye WhatsApp group. Sasa sijajua ambao wa respond, nakuwa nashindwa kujua wana changamoto gani. Lakini kama kuna mtu unamfahamu yupo pale kwenye grupu na yupo kwenye listi ya wale ambao bado hajaanza, ni vizuri kumkumbusha. Kuna mwingine labda amepitia yupo site, labda mwingine yupo likizo, kila mtu ana changamoto zake, lakini ukimkumbusha anakuwa anajua, kwa sababu mlivyojaza zile form mimi nilikuwa najua automatically tupo pamoja. Kwa hiyo na siku zinaenda, tujitahidi kusoma kuelewa, sio kusoma kumaliza. Tusome tuelewe, lakini mwisho wa siku tutumie katika kazi zetu za kila siku. Tom, karibu.
Yes, just before we all finish and leave, really important, any questions you have, study this guide, the sanitary inspection package. I know Hamza was asking what information should be recorded during a sanitary inspection. Why is it important to document that accurately? So we just really scratched the surface. So if we go back to one of these, let's have a look at spring. So in each section, for each water supply infrastructure point, part of the system, it's not just the checklist form. There's also some general information about how old is the spring, how many people are using it, is it affected by flooding, how well is it working, what was the weather like over the last 2 days before, is there any treatment that's being taken place? So there's all of this information to guide you through the process. There's the inspection section form, and the numbers here match the numbers in the form. And then as well as the checklist, you scroll down, you'll also see tick 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 a technical fact sheet which will describe to you all the different parts of the spring, of the technology. So when I had that question earlier about outlet pipe, this is where I found that information. And then also there is this more detailed, this is if there is a spring box, if there's slight differences to the system. So do study this fact sheet as well. And then there's also some advice on what you can do next. So next week we'll be looking more at what we do once we see issues. So how to look after the spring operation maintenance, advice sheet. So yeah, we do encourage you to study the packages. It's not just the checklist, there's so much more to it, and we do encourage you to study those through the course. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, myself, John, Martin, Irene, through the platform. Really happy to spend this time with you, and we'll stay on the call for a little bit longer, but we unless Jane, Irene, John, or Martin, you want to add anything, we've come to the end of the session for today. So thank you for joining us. Any questions, don't hesitate. And we'll be again online, same time next week. Okay.
Yeah, none from me. Thank you all for
Perfect.
participating.
Asante sana. Tutaona wiki baadaye.
Say wiki ijayo.
Wiki ijayo.
Wiki ijayo.
Coming
Okay.
week.
Wiki
Next
ijayo.
week.
Coming. Inja. Very good.
Okay,
Great.
bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Asante. Thank you, Iveta. 200 points Iveta got today. Well done. Hamza, I think you picked up 100 points, so good work. Yep, have a nice day. Johnny and Gemma. Johnny and Gemma? Or is Siku Gemma? Siku Gemma?
Yes, jioni njema, usiku mwema.
Hi, siku mwema.
Eh,
Na kwako pia. Thank you.
Asante.
Na kwako pia. I like it. Great. Okay. Signing off. See you guys next week.